We're here with Silvio Arrivabene, co-general manager at Alinghi Red Bull Racing. Less than a year away from AC75 racing. How are you feeling?
Well, busy and plenty to do, of course, on every front, but you know, happy, and it's still a great event and a great opportunity. So
the team culture, the bond, the dynamic, it looks very strong. How have you evolved over the last year? What have been the biggest challenges?
That's good for you to say. Well, new team, although made of experienced people in some areas and new people in other areas. So we've been trying to gel it together, and we're doing it every day, and we're trying to do it every day. So good if you said it was, it looks strong, yeah.
Winter training and testing in Jeddah. How critical is this decision for your campaign?
Well, we're trying to maximize our chances. You know, we have a young team, in a way, a young sailing team, so it's important to do the best we can. And, you know, here the conditions are great, and yeah, so very important.
Do you think you'll have better testing here than Barcelona?
Well, certainly the consistency is very good. So, yeah, so far so good, I'd say.
You've got more time on the water here in Jeddah than other teams. What are your expectations for the preliminary regatta next week?
Well, we're always aiming to do well, like everyone else is. So we're looking forward to it, and we hope.
What would a good result here mean for the team as you head into 2024?
Well, you know, good result is to sail well, be proud with what we do, and then if the others are stronger, our heads off, and if we're stronger, then good.
You won't race against the other teams until August next year. What do you think the main takeaways from the regatta will be?
Well, it'd be good to have more racing, that's for sure. So, having said that, we'll see how everyone goes, and we'll try to check in since Villanova and see if we worked on the right direction and we're able to improve.
You've had additions to the team, Phil Robertson and Jason Waterhouse. Today they sailed, and yesterday with Dean Barker against Arnaud and Max. Have you asked them to remain a bit conservative in training, or what rules have you set for them?
No, we're just going out there and try to improve all together and have good in-house racing, yeah.
When will we see the women and youth sailing the AC40s?
I think it will be sometime next year, I think around spring or something like that, if I'm not wrong. We are a bit working on the planning right now, yeah.
Well, do you have anything to say for the fans back home?
I don't know, follow us, and it's going to be great sailing here next week, and we hope to deliver you a good result.
Michael, manager, sail trimmer with American Magic. We were just talking, it looks like you got the most out of what could have been a tricky day.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it ended up for certain being a tricky day for us regardless, and we were on the water for 5 hours and just tried to get the most out of the day, like you said, and luckily enough the wind hung around enough for us, and we were able to get everything out of the day that we wanted to, so it was good.
We saw a long delay towards the end of the session. Seems to be a lot of waiting around. Presumably there was an issue with the boat.
Yeah, we can't really go into too many details, but you're exactly right. There were a couple things today inside the boat that weren't working perfectly, and the good news is at the end of the day we solved all the issues and we were able to sail, but by that time the wind kind of died off and we had to take the sails down and tow back home.
When you were up and sailing, it was interesting conditions. We saw the breeze up around 11-12 measured from the recon boat, but there was a big swell and some chop on the top of that. It looked really difficult to manage ride height. Do you fly too high, or do you try and fly too low? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's definitely difficult. There were readings where we were sailing where there were 2 meter swells before we went out sailing, and So just managing a swell direction that's completely, nearly 180 degrees opposite of the wind direction, and the wind direction was all over the place. I think we had like 17 knots down to 8 knots at times. So we're just kind of trying to stay in the breeze. But you're totally right. The sea state kind of played a big part in just how we were sailing the boat and just trying to get our heads around that.
Is it a choice between flying too high and risking dropping off the foil, or flying too low and have to punch through the waves? Is that the decision?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, just trying to see forward a little bit, anticipate what's coming next is always helpful. But like you're saying, I mean, you probably sailing a little bit more conservatively on a day like today is the way to race the boat. And certainly in those conditions, I mean, a forgiving, easy boat to sail would be a fast boat around a race course.
In the last Cup, I would have talked to you as a mainsail trimmer or a headsail trimmer. I think you're doing a bit of both now on these boats. How much are the sails working in conjunction with themselves, or the two sails working in conjunction when you're sailing?
Yeah, I mean, that's something that we're, kind of questioning a bit as a team and trying to understand how that could be possible. And we definitely haven't found the answer yet, so we don't really know exactly how we will do it. But I mean, it's something we're discussing and we're trying to wrap our heads around, because there could be something there.
Another thing we're hearing a lot about is mast rotation to affect the shape of the sail. What can you tell us about that? How do you use that?
Yeah, I mean the spar is a big healing moment tool. I mean, there's a lot of area on that mast, so you can definitely use the mast to heal the boat over and not heal the boat over. So it's kind of a depowering tool a little bit. And then however you set up the battens and how they work with the mast too. I mean, it's no secret all the teams have a different system, and there's something there where you can. The mast can also affect the sail, but there's pros and cons to everything, it seems. So just trying to get our heads around what system do we think we like the best, and maybe what we'll do in the future is not unsure yet, but yeah.
Now we're heading into a break from the AC75 sailing while the Jeddah event is on. More upgrades to the boat, or just a nice maintenance period?
It's going to be a good maintenance period for the guys. I mean, yeah, there's definitely going to be some upgrades happening in the background while we're in Jeddah racing, and it's going to be good, I think, for the boat to have a week off and for the guys to get caught up. And we're looking forward to sailing Patriot again in 2 weeks' time.